How bad is the economy? This is how bad the economy is. Look at all these repos.
The U.S. auto loans delinquent by 90 days or more has reached a level beyond COVID level.
Car repossessions are up like crazy. They've increased by almost a quarter.
So car repossessions have been on the rise this year. They've been on the rise really since COVID, and I think that's for two reasons. In my last car video, I made a video about how people are getting car payments that they simply cannot afford. The car payments are too high, so that's the first reason why they're getting repossessed. And then there's the other side of it, which is just the cost of living in general for some people, where they're getting stretched so thin that they simply just can't make their car payments. It's just people losing everything they have, including their cars. And so we're going to see both sides of the coin in this video. And before I start, go ahead, like the video, subscribe, and let's just go straight into it.
All right, yo, we're at the auction. I'm going to show you how bad repos are getting and how new these vehicles are that are getting repossessed by the banks and being sold at the auction. Look at this. All these are repos, all brand new cars. You got Chargers, Scat Packs, Mercedes, Genesis, Range Rovers, Range Rover, trucks, Teslas. Man, they should have repoed this. This ain't no Scat Pack. Look at that. The Savini's wheel with the, it's a regular Charger, man. And guys, these aren't, 2010, 2012. These are 2019, 2020s and up that are getting repoed. People are barely had these cars for a year, maybe less, maybe more, and the banks are picking them up and selling them at the auctions for a fraction of what they bought it for. I'll show you how cooked the car market is with all these high interest loans, people bailing out of their auto loans because they can't even afford it. Here we have a 2019 Range Rover. Oh, this is beautiful. I'm sure whoever bought this probably paid an arm and a leg, and it's gonna go for a fraction of the cost of the auction. And during COVID and even till today, people are getting approved for these crazy loans on these cars, paying $1,200, $1,500 a month. Insurance is $300, $400, maybe $500 a month for them. So they're paying more than half their income on just an automobile. That doesn't include anything else, any maintenance or anything. It's crazy. Car market is getting stagnant. Inventory is going up. And the reason is people just don't know how to educate themselves, budget correctly. And dealers are taking advantage of that and marking up these cars at such an alarming rate, and banks are approving these loans. We're probably going to start seeing the cars that Steve-O got me rolling sold to those people start popping up at the auction soon. So, but seriously, if you don't want to end up trying to pay the difference on a vehicle that you've bought at such a high price with a high interest rate, take your time to educate yourself and make sure you budget correctly. And as far as the car market goes, we're in trouble because all of these are repos.
So most of those cars in that repo lot do represent a bad financial decision made by somebody, getting a car payment they couldn't afford. It wasn't just low-end cars in that repo lot. It was the Mercedes, the Scat Packs, the Range Rovers, all the luxury vehicle type cars. And they ended up having to give up those cars where they get auctioned at a fraction for what they paid for it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first set of comments over here. People who say don't live above your means are way too removed from reality. The basic inflation and rates are so bad, just the basic are becoming above means. Plus, people are losing jobs and getting divorced, getting sick and can't work. Everyone is making bad financial decisions. Life happens. All expensive cars they knew they couldn't afford. Not a Subaru, Honda, or Toyota there. Wonder why? Well, we're going to see later in the video that it is all types of cars from the low end to the high. But first, let's take a better look at one of these repo lots.
How bad is the economy? This is how bad the economy is. Look at all these repos. And these are just Volkswagen and Audi repos. Look at that. Here is two e-trons. One is a RS and one is a GT. This is the RS. Look at this. RS. Full electric. I won't start it up because you guys won't not hear anything. It's electric. Look at the back though. The GT does have like sway seats. I don't know. It's weird. I've never seen that before. Same thing with the steering wheel. But what y'all think about these? Here are some of the repos in the Volkswagen area. Two GTIs. This one is a 2022. Black on black. It is an automatic. And it's dead. Yep, it will not start. Welcome to Volkswagen. And here's the white one. This one has got like the cream Well, nah, it's like silver and black with red stitching, sunroof. It is a 6-speed. Let's start it. Also won't start. Okay.
So you can really just see in that last clip that these repo lots are really filling up. It's really crazy to think that a lot of these cars are just a year, 2 years old, and those repo lots are already kind of full. Let's take a look at the comment section right now. The economy isn't the problem, it's the banks approving people with red flags on their credit. People out here buying cars they can't afford in the first place. Those dealer markups coming back to haunt. Let's go straight into this next clip where we see the newest delinquency stats on US auto loans.
The U.S. auto loans delinquent by 90 days or more has reached a level beyond COVID level, right? As June 30th, 2025, we have almost a 5% delinquency level that is 90 days or more. Let's look at a 5-year chart. We're reaching pretty much what we had during COVID. Now, a lot of this was subsidized money. There was a lot of deferments, a lot of aid from the government to help people during COVID times. But now people are starting to see things are getting more expensive and people are unfortunately can't catch up and can't catch a breath. There's even an article that was posted that Americans are behind on car payments at a record level. As you can see, most of the auto loan delinquencies come from subprime borrowers. If you're subprime, that means you've had some prior issues with your credit. Right now, 6.6% of subprime auto borrowers were at least 60 days past due on their loans in January 2025. This is the highest level since the agency began collecting data. So what does this mean? That means that we are seeing an effect on subprime buyers, people that have bad credit, limited income, because vehicle prices are getting higher. Car insurance is more expensive because that's also credit based as well. So you have to understand that a lot of times this is affecting the middle class and the poor class. And I tell people all the time, it is very expensive being poor. If you make poor decisions and you are stuck in this mentality of just like getting into whatever you can because you don't have a lot of money down. I get it. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But understand this puts us in that cyclical, very bad path into financial disaster, generational pain instead of generational wealth. We got to break that cycle. In this situation, there's nothing wrong with going to go buy a $2,000 cheap car. There are plenty I've seen on Facebook Marketplace, a Volkswagen Passat with a 2.5 motor, a Honda Accord, a Honda Civic. These are all cars that are known for how cheap it is to repair, how cheap it is to insure, and how reliable they are, and they have the basic necessities. Just be resourceful. You have to go to difficulties to understand that you have to better yourself to get into a position that you can afford those things, not because you deserve them, because you are where you are. So you got to work for those things, you got to earn those things, and those things may not give you happiness. I've had it all. I've had money, I've had cars, and it never brought me happiness. What brought me happiness is stability, serenity when it comes to understanding that my mental peace comes from the fact that I am truly grateful and happy for what I have. And even though it may not necessarily be the best that I want, it gets the job done.
I could not have said it better myself. So let's just go straight to the comments on this one. Taking out a 48-month loan might not have been the best idea. The general public refuses to recognize that any pickup truck should never cost over $40,000. Instead, it's $50,000 to $120,000 for a pickup truck. A pickup truck is a work truck, and a small tiny BMW is $120,000. Listen, until we stop buying those cars. So we got the stats that repos are on the rise, are at all-time highs, higher than COVID levels were. What does that all mean? How is it affecting the car market? Let's take a look at the next clip to see someone's professional opinion on it.
There's going to be a huge price correction on used cars, and let me show you guys why. The 2022 Dodge Charger Hellcat that was just repoed. This is a beautiful car. This car has 70,000 miles on it in only 2 years. Another really nice car is the 2022 Toyota Camry TRD Pro. These are really nice cars, and they're pretty expensive, but it was just repoed. There's this 2023 G-Wagon G63. So you got damage there. Looks like they try to like break into this car or something. The tires are shot. The rear tire is flat, as you can see. And it's crazy to think that $100,000+ car was repoed. This is such a nice car, guys, but they did not take care of this car at all. Look at the inside, it's filthy, smells like weed, dirty. Sad, sad, sad. Here's the truck. This one's got wheel suspension, lifts, etc. It's got some rust right there. Yo, who knows what that is? This one's got 18,000 miles and it was repoed. And look at this one, guys. It's a 2024 Chevy 2500. This is such a nice truck. It's got 30-something thousand miles. Looks like they went off-roading in it. Interior is filthy. It honestly still smells like new. Cracked windshield. Rear bumper is gonna need repair. The bed is also dirty. One thing I don't understand is why banks still continue to give these loans out. Why these dealers still are able to sell cars like this when people can't afford these loans, right? So people are buying these new cars, dogging them out, putting tons of miles on them, and getting them repoed. And it's not just expensive cars. Look, this is a Chevy Sonic. Has some damage to it. The bumper's messed up, the fender's messed up, the windshield's cracked. And this is a cheap car, guys. This is probably like a $10,000, $15,000 car, and they still managed to get it repossessed. Had to get in one of the cars because it's way too hot. But anyways, guys, I see this pattern way too often. People are buying these new cars, these 2022 models, up to 2025 models. I've seen some 2025 models. They buy these cars, they want to stunt, but their bank account ain't stunting. So if your bank account's not stunting, don't be stunting on a car.
So in the same repo lot, you're seeing a G-Wagon, which goes for like 130K, and then cheap used cars that are like 10, 15K. And it's absolutely insane what's going on in the car market right now. He said some of those cars are even 2025 cars. So the buyer didn't even have it for a year before they got it repossessed. Some of the decisions people are making is getting absolutely ridiculous. Let's go ahead and take a look at the comments for this one. They've been saying market crash since COVID. How in the hell could someone put up 70,000 miles on a car within 2 years? That is crazy. You'd be surprised. It's crazy how some payments are $1,000 monthly. Who can afford that? Plus interest rates, gas, maintenance, repairs. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. With the cost of living, why would you tie yourself up into a $1,000 monthly payment when you really can't even afford it? A lot of these people who got the nice G-Wagon, who got the luxury vehicle, they're getting repossessed too. It's not just the people that don't have any money. Let's take a look at the next clip where we can see some more stats and figures.
Car repossessions are up like crazy. They've increased by almost a quarter, 23% in the first half of this year when compared to the first half of last year. The increased rate of car repossessions is due to the twin effects of inflation and high interest rates, hammering household budgets. Average interest rates for a new car are 7.3%, and for a used car, it's 11.5%. Monthly bills for a new car are $739 on average, and for a used car, it's $549 on average. Because so many people are losing their cars right now, this might be one of the reasons, New York Times, that so many people are looking down on the so-called strong economy. Remember, the average time that people are holding on to their vehicles in the United States has been increasing, skyrocketing in the past few years. Now, the average car in the U.S. is 14 years old. Now, the percentage of subprime borrowers who are at least 60 days late on their car payments is also near a record high. People are hoping that interest rates will decrease, which will provide some relief. But right now, it looks like we're a long ways away from that happening.
And even as interest rates have been falling, it's still not making a difference to the car market. I see why people are holding on to their cars longer and longer, because I wouldn't want to be in the market for a new car or a used car. Things are just getting worse and worse. But let's just go ahead and take a look at some of these comments. The stock market is strong because of all the buybacks companies are doing. The issues will start when they have to start spending. My 05 Silverado be at 284,000 miles. I'll take it to its grave, then bring it back. That's why I went to the repo auction to get my 2023 Honda Accord, only paid $19K for it. Don't forget, insurance keeps going up too. Let's watch another clip to get some more information from somebody in the industry on all these car repossessions and why they're happening.
One of the main reasons why people get repos is not because they can't afford the payment, it's because they bought a high mileage car that was out of warranty, they declined the service contract so they have no warranty on it, and then something went wrong with the car. A lot of people that come to the dealership, when something goes wrong on the car and they got to pay out of pocket for it, they say, "F it, I'm not paying for the car anymore." So they just leave the car. That's why they have repos. It's not because they can't afford it. They just don't want to pay it. And this is why when I work with bad credit customers, I pretty much tell them to buy the warranty because they get approved on higher mileage cars. God forbid something was to happen, because things really do happen. If something happens, the warranty pays out. You're not paying out of pocket. I don't know about you guys, dishing out $4 or $5 grand for repair is crazy. So when you're at the dealership, make sure you go ahead, get that warranty. Realistically, it might add $30 to your car payment. $30, $40 tops, and just to have that coverage and that peace of mind.
Someone leave a comment down below if they have a story where somebody got a repo on purpose because they didn't want to pay to get the car fixed. Now that I think about it, I bet that's actually more common than you think. Let's go ahead and take a look at the comments. Warranty doesn't pay for nothing. They always find excuses not to cover. Repos are because they can't afford it. Also, where you been? That's funny. We got the warranty when we took the dealership. The warranty company said they will not cover it because it was part of the warranty why we get it. Yeah, personally, I wouldn't get the warranty either. I don't trust anything dealerships have to tell me. But anyways, this is not just a few repos. I got another clip.
Y'all need to stop buying cars that you can't afford. I mean, look at some of these repos that I found at auction today. 2020 SRT. This thing is a repo. It's still got the tag on it. Look at the inside. It's not that clean. Someone has definitely been smoking the, the Zaza in here. But look at this. And one key. That's the issue with repos. You only get a key, one key. Doesn't sound too bad. What y'all think? Is this the craziest Subaru y'all have ever seen? Look at this. Carbon fiber wide body kit. Look at the wing. This is a 2014, and what's crazy is that this thing got repoed. So whoever did all of this work was gone in just a matter. Look at this. Oh my God. Well, it looks like he tried to take some of the stuff out. Look at that. That's insane. Y'all be leaving the guard shields on just for the car to get repoed. Look at this. This is a RT 2019. Look at this thing. One key. And it's dead.
Tell me y'all caught that right. They had the money to make the car payments, but they modded up the car instead of making the car payments. They just let the car get repoed. They just basically just throwing money away. Am I tripping for catching that? I gotta check out the comments on this one. Bro modding the bank's car. Bro modded his car instead of paying it off. That's exactly what I was saying. We all know who had the SRT. Having a 2014 repo is crazy. But then again, we do know some people are letting their car get repossessed on purpose. Let's check out this next clip where someone's deciding if that's the best decision for them.
It is a $80,000 Ford F-250. We want to get out of it, but whenever we take it to trade it in or try to sell it, we are offered about $10,000 less than what we owe on it. Is it a dumb decision to let it get repossessed?
What does Kelley Blue Book say the truck's worth?
Kelley Blue Book says 34 to 37 for trade-in or 40,000 for selling it outright, and we
And you owe 80?
Well, we owe 58 on it.
Oh, 58. All right. And who do you owe the 58 to? Who's the bank?
It's our federal credit union.
Okay. I want you to go to the credit union in person and tell them the problem to the manager.
Okay.
And say, we don't want to repo this.
Right.
We want to sell it, but we don't have the $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
We want you to release the title for 48. We're going to give you the whole 48, and we're going to sign a note and pay payments on the 10,000.
Okay.
That is better than a repo. Here's why. When they repo the truck, they will sell it on a repo lot for 24.
Okay.
Deep discount on a repo lot. Agreed?
Yes.
And they're going to sue you for the difference.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't realize that would.
Yeah, the deficit, it's called, the lack of the money that doesn't get paid by the sale of the vehicle, they're going to come after you for it. And so by letting it be repoed, voluntary or otherwise, you are losing control of the sale price, which means you lose control of the hole that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to control the hole that you're in and sell it for 48 and sign a note with the credit union for 10. If you sit down without an attitude of victim, don't act like the credit union did something wrong. They didn't. They did everything they were supposed to do. You're the one that did something wrong. So you go in humble.
Yes.
Asking for mercy, asking for help. I want to do the right thing. Help me do the right thing. Help me sell it and pay you the $10,000 difference as an unsecured note. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Now, here's the actual, let's look at it from the credit union manager's position for a second.
Mm-hmm.
If he has to take the truck back and sells it for 24, he's going to lose all that money difference unless he gets it out of you.
Right.
So this is a much better deal for him because the number of times they collect on a deficit is very low because people often bankrupt after this.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a credit union manager, you know that. And so you're actually making him a really good deal because he does not have a secured loan now. He has a partially secured loan. He has a $10,000 unsecured loan and a $48,000 secured loan. And all we're asking him to do is admit it.
Okay.
You see what I'm talking about? From his perspective. And so, but just be kind and humble and ask for help and say, we made a terrible mistake. We're going to make good on it, but we really need your help. And this is best for the credit union, and this is best for us. This is a win-win. And, it is, because he's going to come out on the short end of the stick, and so are you in a repo. It's not going to work for either one of you.
Let me know down in the comment section if that was good advice, because I'm going to look at the comments first to see what the people have to say. Truck worth $40,000, they owe $58K, that's $18K difference, not 10. Bankruptcy probably better than paying $18K in no asset. Make sure they are trying to sell it in a truck state. If it's not a truck state, they're not going to go for as much. Then pay the $10K that you're missing, duh. Roll negative into a short-term EV lease, you're welcome. So there's definitely a few different ways to play it for that person in the last clip. I think the numbers were off. It should have been 18K, not the 10K. But most of these cars in the repo lots are not the ones you would expect. Let's check out which car brand has the most repos.
Toyota has the most repossessions in the country. I'm here at the auction in Toyota's repo lane, right? Every week it seems to be growing. This week there's 5,000 repossessions. The average car payment is $750 a month in America. How can people afford this? I see why they're giving up, right? That's a lot of money to spend on a car. That's before insurance, that's before you put gas in it, that's before you feed your kids, that's before you catch a flat tire. Like, this is absolutely crazy. Look at the cars that people are giving up. 2024 Camry, 30,000 miles. 2024 Toyota, I don't know what this is, but 10,000 miles. 2024 Corolla, 12,000 miles. They barely had this. They barely drove this. Look at all the repossessions. They're still covered under factory warranty. Can you still have hope in the country when you see things like this? This is sad. Toyota's the most reliable. It has the best residual value. But people can't maintain their car payments. Can you imagine spending $750 a month on a Corolla? Toyota's supposed to be affordable. It's supposed to be the car, the family car, the American dream. You buy a house with a white picket fence, you get a Toyota, it lasts you the rest of your life. But people can't afford the 6-7 year loan. They're giving up. This is a 2024 4Runner. Sorry, my brain farted. At the auction, this is gonna bring $40,000, right? It's a repossession. It's a 2024 with 26,000 miles. That means a retail customer is going to spend about $45,000. Payment on this is going to be close to $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month on a vehicle. That's before your insurance. Whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? Is it the customer's fault for buying something they can't afford? Is it the manufacturer's fault for making something they need but can't afford? It's the government's fault for the economy being in the tank and jobs not paying. This is absolutely crazy. Look, this is a Toyota Tundra. This is a $1,500 a month car payment. Repossessed. Repossessed. It's a 2024 with 14,000 miles. This is brand new, still covered under factory warranty. Look at this one. Oh my God, these are all so beautiful. But they couldn't afford it. This one had 8,000 miles. He didn't even have a chance to put gas in it before it got picked up. You think Toyota cares that your kids got sick or you got fired or you broke your leg and you're having some hard times? They don't care. They're a machine. They're going to come pick your cars up. They do not give a fuck.
Doesn't Toyota also have the most car sales in America? I guess most car sales also mean most repossessions. There's so many people to point the finger at, you're running out of fingers. Let's go ahead and take a look at the comments. Didn't have a chance to put gas in the car. High car prices, high interest rates, high unemployment, high inflation. Everyone strap it up and be ready for a recession. That's because Toyota these days are very expensive. These dealerships got greedy. I got my 2020 Camry in 2022, second owner, with 16,000 miles for $30,000. Since when did Camrys command such price? As much as I love my car, I actually regret getting it. Those repo lots are insane. There are so many repos. There's just a sea of cars that look almost brand new. They look shiny, they look nice. It's really sad to see. Let's take a look at one last clip on why there are so many repos right now.
This is why there's so many repos right now. Banks like Capital One are picking up subprime lenders, people with like a 600, 550 credit score. They're giving them loans on cars that have 80, 90,000 miles. They're giving them high interest rates for like 20%, 18, 15%. Couple that with a giant monthly payment on the car, on insurance, and maintenance. You're buying a car with 80,000 miles, 90,000 miles. Guarantee you're gonna have a lot of maintenance to do on that car. 80,000 miles is when things start to break down on vehicles. This is why right now in the Capital One lane, you are seeing an overdose of vehicles with over 100,000 miles, and all these cars are being sold as is. This is a bank. Banks don't typically sell cars as is. You get guarantees from the bank. They still give you the 3-day mechanical guarantee on this car, but it's got high miles. Check engine light. This is what I'm saying. Look at the damage. Yo, look at the damage. So what's happening is people are letting these cars get repossessed because they cannot afford the monthly payment from the high interest rate, the high price of the car. They cannot afford to fix their car because all these cars that they're buying have high miles. People are getting screwed, bro. They're letting their cars get repoed. They're getting back to the banks. The banks are then rerunning them here. I have never seen 150 cars in the Capital One lane in years. You're starting to see the effect of repossessions. You're starting to see the effects of all these high interest, high mileage COVID buys. That's what I want to call it. Starting to see it. People have been talking about it for so long, it's starting to snowball. You're gonna start seeing the bad economy. Check out Capital One lane. It's not pretty.
We're basically seeing the effects for all the COVID buys for these cars, and a lot of them are getting repossessed now. Let's go ahead and take one last look at the comments. Anything above 14% interest should be illegal. I got Capital One for my car finance. Hopefully they go bankrupt and my loan disappears. Yeah, if people's loans disappeared, that would solve a whole lot of problems, but we can only hope because I don't see it happening anytime soon. And for those of you that stayed to the end, subscribe to the channel and check out my next video right here.